So welcome to one of my classrooms in South Korea. I thought I'd do this video at work today because today I quit my job. Let's talk about it. Good, beautiful morning and welcome back to Low Drag Lifestyle. Today we are talking about the reasons that you might want to think about quitting your job, just as I have today. Hopefully I can find some solidarity out there. To be clear, I've chosen not to re-sign my contract. So if you've watched a little bit of this channel, you might know that I am an English teacher living here in South Korea. I work in public schools and every year we sign a new one-year contract. This year, I just signed on the line that says I don't want a new contract and yeah, I'm finished. So as of the 26th of February 2022, I will be unemployed. I will be becoming a full-time digital nomad. I have some plane tickets booked and some Airbnbs booked. So if you want to find out exactly how wrong this can go, feel free to get subscribed and join me on this completely unnecessary adventure. So let's talk about what, for me at least, is the main reason to leave a job, to move on. And that is that it's not interesting anymore. It's not a challenge anymore. When I first started off in sales, I had no idea what I was doing. And then I got quite used to it and quite good at it, and it got boring. I've been an English teacher in Korean public schools for almost 3 years. When I finish, it'll be 2 years and 10 months. And when I started here, I knew very little about teaching. I'd never been a teacher before. On top of that, I didn't know any Korean, so I had no way to communicate with these kids. It was exciting, it was interesting. But now, I've taught the whole curriculum almost 3 times now. I've learned enough Korean that I can get by. If my kids are learning it in English, then I can probably say it in Korean. There really is no challenge to this anymore. And for me, that's a really good reason to move on. Another thing you might want to consider is the feeling that you've plateaued. There are a few different ways to phrase this. You feel like you've plateaued, you feel like you can't go any further in the company, you feel like you have nothing more to learn. If you're in a job and it doesn't feel like next year will be different and better and the year after that will be different and better, you'll gain new skills, you'll grow as a person, you'll get a pay rise, grow professionally, then what are you doing? Really, you're just going to be in exactly the same place in 5 years, in 10 years, in 30 years. If you feel like you've plateaued at your job, you've got nothing to aim at, you've got nothing to grow for, no reason to grow, no way to grow, then maybe it's time to think about quitting your job. For me, a big reason to leave your job, or to at least think about it, is that you don't feel valued. You feel like you have more to give, you feel like you have more skills and more knowledge to provide than are being taken advantage of by your employer. When you come up with ideas, they're not listened to. When you come up with suggestions about how to do things better, no one cares. If you do feel like you have more to give than anyone really cares about, then maybe you need to be offering your skills in a different arena. Another reason that you might think about leaving your job is if your attitude towards your job has changed. Maybe at the beginning you really enjoyed your job, you were excited to come to work, and you did enjoy every day, you did work through your lunch breaks sometimes because you were just really enjoying spreadsheets. Maybe that's changed. Maybe you notice more things at work that annoy you. You find more reasons to roll your eyes when your boss makes a suggestion. If you come into work every day and find emails that used to make you interested in what's going on in the company and now you just think, I really do not care. When you leave at the end of the day, you think, oh, I don't want to come back to this tomorrow because of this reason. If your attitude towards the work has changed, if you're not enjoying it as much, and this looks like it's a downhill trajectory, then think about where you're going to be in a year, or 2 years, or 5 years. Are you going to be happier? Is this going to get better? Are you suddenly going to start to enjoy spreadsheets more? Maybe. If what you once enjoyed about a job is no longer making you happy, well, then maybe it's time to move on. This is the last one, and for me it's the absolute biggest one. It's the reason I've called this channel Low Drag Lifestyle. And that is that your job doesn't allow you to do what you want to do. If your job is something you are doing to get the money to do what you really want to do, then great. Or even better, if your job is what you really want to do, if that is your calling, your passion, and your drive in life, then absolutely stick at your job, you're in the right place. But if your calling, if what you want to do with your life is not whatever you're currently doing as a job, then your job should allow you to do it. Your job should enable you to do it. This may mean moving house, moving to another city, or even to another country. It may mean taking a pay cut and actually changing your lifestyle in order to survive on less money, to do what you really want. But your job should be a means to an end. It should be the way that you get to what you want. No one gets to the end of their life and says, I wish I'd worked more hours. So folks, those are my top reasons that you might want to think about moving on from your job. If you'd like to hear me talk a little bit about what it means to build a low drag lifestyle, then I've made a whole video about that and I will link that over here.